Welcome guys, we're here at Warburton Holiday Park in beautiful Warburton. We've got an amazing spot right by Yarra River, which is unbelievable. We love this place. We'll tell you a little bit more about the Caravan Park and Warburton itself in another episode, but today we're going to give you a bit of a tour on our brand new Opus OP4. So far we've been out in a few times. I think this is the third time, so we're still kind of getting used to everything, still setting it up, getting the best way of doing it as well. But so far we absolutely love it. So we got it in the green color. The outside of the panels are green, so there's a few different colors you can get. You can get black, you can get gray, blue, red, orange. We were going to get orange to match the car, but we kind of really liked the green, so we went with that. And we also went with the full Annex. So behind me you can see the full Annex for the OP4. That actually folds up entirely, and you can stuff it in when you're packing up as well. So you don't need to actually attach it every time either. So that's a real time saver, really handy as well. So anyway, without further ado, let's give you a tour around the Caravan. I'll do the outside, Hannah will do the inside, so follow me. So I reckon we start here at the front. So it's got a DO35 hitch here, which is really handy. Our Excalibur didn't have this, so this is new to us, which is great. And we also changed the jockey wheel to one of the Arc 750. So these guys are really tough and rugged jockey wheels, especially compared to the standard one that you get with the Opus, which wasn't really good. So we changed that out, which is really good. It's got 2 jerry can holders, 20 litres, which we've got a diesel one here and water over there, which is really handy. So one of the new features of the OP for the 2023 model is the diesel heater, which we ended up getting. We weren't going to get originally, but we thought we're in Victoria, it's cold, and we're so glad we got it. But the diesel heater here, the tank is actually separate. So a lot of the time they use the jerry can holder as the diesel heater tank. But with a separate little tank here, it means that you've got full access to that if you need to fill it and fill your car or anything. Really good feature. And we really love having that little feature in the tank on the side. So in here we've got our gas bottles as well. So I'll open it up and show you. We'll probably have a sneak peek in there. So it's got 2 4.5 litre gas tanks, which is really handy. Another thing about the OP4 is the weights, which I didn't talk about earlier. So the tear weight of this thing is 1,550 kilos, and the ATM is about 2 tons, so just under 2 tons. So got about 400 kilos of payload. So when you add the water in and all your stuff as well, fair amount, because you can't really fit a huge amount in this thing. So 400 kilos is more than enough for 2 people and a dog. So coming around to the side, we've got a really large storage container here. There's one on each side. The other side, Hannah will show you, so that stores our fridge. But in here, this is where we can store all our bits and bobs, our cords, our hoses, our chocks and everything. So I'll show you, you can have a quick look, really wide opening. And this is how we've kind of got it set it up at the moment. 2 handy little storage boxes here. These are little collapsible storage boxes just from Bunnings, which are really good. Just makes things a bit organized. And this whole tray comes out as well. So really easy access to everything in here. Here we've got our plug. So this is where we put our 240 volt and the fuses here. So underneath it's got independent suspension. You can see the coil springs there. Love that they're in red. That's really cool. But that just shows you the Opus is fully off-road, so we haven't taken on any 4-wheel drive tracks yet, but it's definitely capable. And we've seen it go all sorts of places. Like someone took it on the Telegraph track up in Cape York as well, so it's definitely capable. And yeah, I think in a future video we'll give it a spin. This is a storage rack which folds down, as you can see, when in use. When it's like this, it can hold about 50 kilos on it. So you can have your hot water system, or you know, if you wanted a kayak or something like that, or a light boat or something you want to put on here, you can hold 50 kilos. When it's closed, it can hold about 200 kilos. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. It's also got 2 water tanks. So here's one here. This is the front one in front of the axle. And then the second one is just over here behind the axle. So both of the water tanks are 80 litres, which is a huge amount for this thing. So 80 litres in the front, 80 litres in the back, so 160 litres on board in total, which is, you know, between the two of us, we're never going to use that much. Really all we use it for is the tap. We do have a shower attachment, which we didn't bring on this trip, which can also go on the rack up here, which is quite good. And there's also a little outdoor shower here as well, which we'll use on occasion. It's only cold water, so at the moment there's no hot water system on board the Opus. We do have a hot water system that we bought, which we'll set up another time and show you how it all works. And down here we've got the 2 water hose connectors. So this is where you connect your hot water system and your gas as well. So the gas will be used from the gas tanks at the front, so it's all really usable. Super easy to install as well, so love the fact that Opus have thought of that. Then finally coming around to the back, I'll try not to trip over all these cords. We've got our spare tyre just sitting there at the back. So when you're in use, that kind of pops down like that and then clips back up when you're on the road. So that's pretty much for the outside. Like, there's not really all much to it. It's yeah, it's really user functional and pretty simple to use as well. So, so I reckon we show you the inside. That's what you're really waiting for. So I'll get Hannah, we'll swap over and we'll show you what's inside.
As Chris mentioned, we went with the full Annex option purely because we wanted it to be as flexible as possible. So all of these panels come out and they'll zip out, and so it can be very open to the elements. But then when we're in the middle of winter in Victoria, it can also be closed and become a real functional indoor-outdoor space. There is a second option. Opus also do a sun canopy, which is a more open, probably more useful for people that live up in Queensland, but both great options. So Chris has got it all pegged down here. He's bought some glow-in-the-dark screw-in pegs just for safety, so that's a really good addition, I'd say. And coming inside, the Annex is massive. There's so much room to move around. For us, it's only Chris, Archie and I, but this could easily suit a family of 4, maybe even more. And if we walk in here, at the moment, we've got everything zipped up. So on this side, it opens and closes just purely to make the Annex totally windproof. What you can do is then undo these, and then all the functionality starts to appear. So here we have the outdoor kitchen. Just roll this out. Really big kitchen space. And if we put this up, so we've got a dish rack, there's the tap here just folds up really easy. It's quite a shallow sink, but I'm just using it with the shallow water, which works really well, or you can just get a little bucket inside. And then on this side, and we haven't used this yet on this trip, so here you've got the hob. We keep the polystyrene all like this for traveling, just to keep it all safe. And then below here, again, really functional, cutlery drawer there. And we keep our, these are just the Corel crockery. So that just keeps it nice and safe away there. There's also this strip light here. So this is new to the 23 models. So that just provides that extra light, especially when it's getting dark and you're doing dinner. That's in addition to this light here, which is more specific and you can focus on whatever you're doing. To keep this really secure, if you come underneath, I'll just pop this down there, and that just keeps it a bit more secure if you're putting any weight on it here. And if you want that extra bit of bench space, you just click that and pull it out, and then that's perfect for putting a chopping board on, or if you're wanting to take your pan off, you could put a silicone mat down there. Just pop that back in. So while we're in the kitchen area, we've actually bought a couple of these. So these are expandable shelf sets. So we've got a large one out here and we've got a small one inside, which I'll show you in a minute. So what's great about these is they collapse for traveling, so they don't take up any space. And then if Chris wants to have a look around here, so we use this as our sort of kitchen cupboards and a little bit of extra storage out in the kitchen. So we've got our toaster, we've got the frother from the coffee machine and all of our food in there. There is a pantry next to the fridge, but for anything that you just want easily accessible, I think this is a great storage option. And it actually creates a nice separated area. I actually really like this for an area. So if you are cooking or washing up, you've got another surface to be able to use there. Another key part of the annex is the fridge. So we've got it zipped up at the moment to exclude drafts, but again, when it comes to dinner time or breakfast time, we just undo this, roll this back. Okay, and then this opens really easily. And I just guide it out, otherwise it can fling because it is on a hydraulic spring. And then here we just click this down, which unlocks the catch. So it gets locked in just so that it's not flailing around during traveling. So here we've got a kick-ass 95 litre dual compartment fridge freezer. So at the moment we've got both sections set to fridge because we're only away for the weekend. We don't need to freeze anything, and then that maximizes energy efficiency. And then next to that, we also have a pantry. Now this unclicker didn't actually come with the Opus. There are these two blue things that you just push back at either side, but because that needs both hands, we actually got from one of the Opus groups we found out about on Facebook, we found out about getting a 3D printed handle. So we've just bought one of those and it's great. So that will be staying. And if you have a look in, at the moment, we don't have a lot in there. We've got a few cups and glasses. Again, because we've got the shelves in the actual kitchen area, that then frees up a bit of space here. Obviously, you can set up your annex however you like, but we've created this little sort of lounge corner. This is the table from inside the Opus. So we actually prefer to leave the sofas inside as more of a lounge area. And we've brought the table outside, and we've got both mine and Chris's chairs here. So we can either have a cup of coffee, or if we're having some food, we can just move this round and have a bit of a dining area as well, which we found is really useful. And Archie even gets his own space. So Archie has an outdoor bed as well as an indoor bed. And last, but definitely not least, here in the annex, we have the control panel. So if you look here, it's really clearly labelled. We've got the main power, fridge, sockets, light and water. And up here we have the air button as well. So this is for inflating the OP4. We can also see our water situation. So we've got both the front tank and the rear tank and how much water we've got in each. The centre here is our battery panels. So here we can see they're currently at 100%, and it also shows what your battery usage is at the moment. We can also flick these up, and there is a 12-volt cigarette lighter socket, and also here a couple of USB sockets. And the other elements that control the camper trailer are just here in the doorway, so really easily accessible from the outside. So we actually have the light switches. So these are on dimmers for inside. And here we have the light switches for outside. Again, it's a dimmer switch. We also have a radio, and this is the control for the diesel heater. Now going into the camper trailer proper, they are quite steep steps. We do have a dog ramp at the moment because Archie isn't liking going up into it at the moment. So either we have to train him or we're going to have to figure out some other kind of solution. The steps are adjustable, so you can take out this pin and you can make it more flat and upright or more at an angle. So there are some options. We just need to figure out how we manage with Archie. So let's go in. Okay, here we are. We have put in a couple of extra things just for comfort. So to start with, we've just put some felt matting down with some grippers underneath. So this is both to protect the flooring because we are letting Archie come up in here, and also when you've got bare feet, it's a whole lot nicer to walk on, especially in winter. Because it is a dual fold trailer, it fits in our garage and yet opens up to this incredibly huge space, both long and also so high I can't quite reach the roof. So feels incredibly spacious. At this end, we have a king size bed, and this end we have a double bed. So two really well spaced out beds at either end, with then a centre section which is the lounge, and again the dining table can be brought in here if you want to eat inside. It's also a really versatile space, which again is something that Chris and I both loved about it. At the moment we're on open plan setting, so the whole wall here just rolls up and can get tied up here to then create this huge indoor-outdoor space. And then on the flip side, if it's getting a bit cold, you want to pop the diesel heater on and just warm the area you're in, bring it back down, zip it up. There are so many elements that are flexible in here. This section in the annex, these can all be cordoned off into 3 key separate sections. Again, we've gone with open plan at the moment, but really versatile. As I mentioned, there are 2 great sized beds in the EP4, which is what makes it so suitable for a family or for a couple that like to spread out. So this bed here is a double bed. Now, they have upgraded the mattresses in this year's model for the 2023 OP4, and we had been reading on Facebook from previous models that people said that they found the beds uncomfortable. Obviously, horses for courses, but we've been sleeping really well on these mattresses, so we're really happy with how comfortable they are. And at this side, there is the king bed. Well, it's a king bed extension, so you can just have it as the double, or the cushions fold down here and it extends into a king size bed. All of these cushions are removable, so you can pretty much have it however you want. If those 2 beds aren't enough space for you, the table that we showed you in the annex, well, that can slide onto these 2 slats here. And again, you just slide the cushion down and that also creates an additional bed. So again, really versatile. So this is the lounge area when it isn't being used as a spare bed or a dining area. Again, the cushions are really comfortable. We're so happy with this. We've just put a bit of a throw on here just to warm things up in winter a bit. Now, if we just look down here, we have the speakers for the radio. Actually decent sound quality as well. I'm not sure our GoPro will pick up on that, so I don't think we'll demonstrate that. And then here is the outlet for the diesel heater. So it's really good that the outlet's low because it really feels like the heat rises and spreads throughout the whole camper trailer, which is great. In terms of storage in the OP4, we do have quite a bit of underseat storage. So for example, so we keep a few bits and pieces in here. Great for stuff that you want to store in the OP4 while you're traveling. This one's a great one because it has 2 power points as well, which then threads through, and there's a useful hole here so you can then thread the wire through whilst keeping the storage, the cupboard shut. There's more storage under here, which is accessible both from the top and also from the side. Under here we have the batteries. So we have 2 lithium batteries, and hopefully soon we'll also get an inverter put in so that we've got more off-grid capability. And there's some storage under this seat. We do have the diesel heater in this storage and an additional cupboard here. So we've got quite a few of our wires that's kept in here. Again, there's a power point right at the back. And under this is also the air pump. Against this bed, we have a little bit more storage. We've just been keeping a few kitchen bits and bobs in there again while we're traveling. And finally, this cupboard here, this has the portable toilet. If you didn't want the portable toilet, you could always take this out and have additional storage. We haven't used it yet, but it's potentially quite useful, especially if you're planning on camping off-grid. Obviously, it's not the most useful place there, but you could get an ensuite and create your own little ensuite loo, which would be fantastic. There are also USB points scattered around the place. So we have USB points here, here. There's also a power socket in the little cupboard that's just behind here, and a USB point at this side. So that's great because whichever bed you're in, you can charge up your mobile phone right next to the bed if needed. We've only been out in the Opus, what, 3 times now?
Yeah,
and
we're getting used to it, aren't we?
Yeah, but it's really comfortable. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I think the best thing for me is just the ease of setup so far. It has been really easy in that you just get to a campsite, open it up, pull the Annex out and press the button and it all inflates itself. So, you can see these beams here. There's quite a few beams around the camper that kind of hold the structure of the camper itself. And if you get a puncher, touch wood, we won't, but you can isolate them as well. So if you have a puncher and you're in the middle of nowhere and you can't really repair it, you can isolate it so the whole thing doesn't fall down, which is actually really handy. But Opus have included a repair kit as well. So touch wood, if you did get one, you'd be able to fix it. But again, with that flexibility that they have, just being able to, repair any issues on the road is great. But yeah, so far it's been fantastic. There's so much space in here. It's really hard to tell you how much space it is. Both of us can't touch the roof.
I know.
I have to stand on the seats to open the skylights. And when we're opposite sides of the camper, it feels like we're miles away from each other, which is great. So yeah, we're really loving it so far, and
no
complaints.
I thought we'd have a bit of a culture shock switching from a Caravan. So our Caravan was so lovely. It was also more than twice the price that this is, and so
twice the size as well.
So I just thought, what are all the sacrifices that we're going to have to make? And I thought space would be one of those. And I actually haven't felt that sacrifice.
No. Definitely on the space thing. And when you open it up as well, it's you just have so much space in here. Yeah. If you're in the market for a camper trailer, feel free to ask us any questions. We've gone through the process and we can tell you our thoughts on this particular camper and any others that we had a look at as well. But
we did a few comparisons, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Well, thanks for joining us on our tour. We hope you enjoyed it. We love the Opus so far, and we'll see you soon when we're out and about exploring some of this beautiful country. Yes, I think we're going to go out and check out Warburton now. Yeah, definitely. Let's go do it. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.